Working? Okay.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Blissful Living podcast. I am the queen of feeling fabulous, Rochel Marie Lawson. And I just have a wonderful show in store for you. If you are brave, bold, and unstoppable, and you're a woman that just is ready to just like take command of your empire, your life, then you want to definitely take this time, as I like to say to all of you, get a place to sit where you won't be disturbed, get something to write with, piece of paper, pencil, get your favorite beverage, cup of tea, water with lemon, whatever it might be. Tell your family to give you a few moments and just allow yourself to embrace the conversation that I'm going to have with my phenomenal guest, who I'll share in a minute, with you, so you can get the nuggets of gold that might actually help you to really step into commanding and being that brave, bold, unstoppable woman that you know lives deep inside of you and is screaming to come out even bigger. Okay, so while you're doing that, let me take care of business. I want to thank our sponsor, Blissful Living for You, at blissfullivingforyou.com. Blissful Living, the number 4, the letter U.com. Go check them out. Some fabulous things to help you maintain your wellness, wisdom, and wealth, as well as events that are happening in the U.S., the Brave, Bold, Unstoppable Women Summits. So I suggest you go check them out at Blissful Living, the number 4, the letter U.com. And you definitely want to check out the information about the summit, because there's a virtual summit coming up that you definitely want to be an attendee at. And you definitely want to get to the live events if you can possibly do that. So check out Blissful Living, the number 4, the letter U.com, and check out events. The next sponsor I want to thank is All Day Cable Incorporated, premier telecommunications installation company located in the heart of Silicon Valley, been in business since 1989, and they commanded in the voice, data, fiber optic cable installation, and all your network distribution. They love helping small, medium, and large corporations to make sure that their backbone of their network distribution is operating effectively and efficiently, so that when you pick up whatever piece of technology you're using and you make that connection right the first time. So if you're in need of a phenomenal woman-owned business that's located in the heart of Silicon Valley that takes care of all your telecom network distribution needs, then you definitely want to check out All Day Cable Inc. at alldaycableinc.com. Okay, so now you've had time to get something, right with, to find a place to sit, relax for a few moments. And I'm going to tell you about this amazing lady that's up on stage with me and why you should be paying attention. So let me get my specs on, because you know how it is when you get more brilliant, your eyes tend to start faltering a little bit. They just need a little help. Okay, let me tell you, my girl, Laura Di Franco, is the CEO of Brave Healer Productions, an award-winning publisher specializing in business strategy for holistic health and wellness professionals ready to become authors. She has 30 years of expertise in holistic physical therapy, 14 years of training in martial arts, and her company has published over 50 Amazon best-selling books. My book is one of those, and I've been in several others that she's published. Brave Healer Productions is waking the world up to what's possible for healing, one brave word at a time. So Laura, welcome to the Blissful Living Podcast, my good friend, my publisher of a few books I have. It's a pleasure to have you, because I know you really are brave, bold, and unstoppable woman. So Laura, I want you to just tell the listeners and the viewers a little bit about you and what got you started on your writing journey.
Whoa, writing. Well, I've been writing forever. Feels like I've been writing since I was a kid. Seriously, journaling since I was a teenager. And, back then it was just corny stuff about boys and love poems and fun stuff like that. But, as soon as I had a business, fast forward a couple decades, I wanted to educate people about holistic health and wellness. And physical therapy was a first 30-year career for me. And I just started to write about the things I knew I wanted them to know, my clients, prospective clients about their body, mind, and soul. And that was the beginning of my writing until I decided to self-publish my first book. So it has been quite a writing journey.
I love it. Tell us that are watching and that may be listening, what was your first experience with you when you began to write within this particular last few years, and what happened that caused you to embark on the publishing journey?
Well, there's a few pretty cool stories, but I had my first business going. I opened up business number 2. I know you're no stranger to multiple businesses and doing everything, right? Business number 2 was going. I kept telling people I was transitioning, but that went on for about 5 years, right? I couldn't give up the physical therapy to jump into Brave Healer Productions. I was just too afraid to give up the bread and butter for a long time until COVID did it for me. And a lot of people are having these stories lately, but I panicked for about a week about what I would do about that business being shut down until I just went 150% into business number 2. And it was the best decision I ever made. I woke up on March 20th of 2020, dreaming a dream about doing a collaboration with my healer friends. And the world had just lost all of its hands-on people. Right. And I went in and I wrote a note to that group. I was teaching a class on Facebook, and I wrote the note to the group that said, hey, you guys, we just lost our healers. Who wants to write a chapter in this book? And we'll teach people what to do at home right now. So 24 hours later, 48 hours later, I'll give it 2 days, 24 people showed up and said, yes, I'll do that. And then 5 weeks after that, we birthed that book to a #1 Amazon bestseller. And I was like, what? Like, what? How does that happen in 5 weeks, right? And that was the beginning of the collaborations that you are familiar with in your beautiful, unstoppable book.
Oh, thanks, Laura. Thanks for sharing that. You have been just a gift to me. For one, you allowed me an opportunity to get my words out and to work with other women that have the same mindset with regards to getting our words out. And in some of our books, we tell some very personal stories that are not always the feel good type of stories, right? But these stories that we tell that led us on our journey to writing our specific aspect within the book are things that we had to step in and be brave, bold, and unstoppable, and sharing our message with those that may have a similar situation and need some guidance. Can you share with the viewers and the people listening to us, have you had any moments like that when you were writing? And I know you're a brave, bold, unstoppable woman, but I want the people that are watching us to understand the depths of your characteristics when it comes to being that type of woman. Have you ever had any moments where you had to step in and tap into yourself because you wanted to write words down, but you were afraid that what if somebody saw these words because they're so very personal to you? Do you have any experiences like that?
One or two. I would like to give you just a quick shout out before I talk about that, because you said yes to that also. So we are fellow warriors. I call all of us who choose this path and choose to take on the challenge of writing a vulnerable story for the world to read, right? So just a quick thank you for writing. The chapter that I'm thinking of is the one that you wrote about betrayal. And I may not have ever had a chance to personally tell you that that was a good chapter for me to read. And sometimes authors don't get those messages right. Like you don't even know that that was going on in me because I haven't had a chance to tell you. But tell your author friends what their words meant to you and how it affected you, because that's why we're here. That's part of the purpose, right? We love to hear that. So yes, of course, I've had so many moments. And, sometimes you have to realize that your writing is the feng shui you have to do. Not everything is going to be published. So I was writing a second book somewhere around, I think it was 2015. And this is my second book baby. So I was excited. Book number 2 was coming through, right? And somebody dropped this thing in my inbox. You guys might know NaNoWriMo. It's a National Novel Writing Month of November. It's a free program online that you could sign up for. Yeah, it's fun. Friend dropped it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've already been writing this book. This is perfect. And I signed up. And the goal of that November of 2015 was to write a 30,000 word novel in 30 days. So I'm like, yeah, I'm an action taker. I can handle this, right? The end of that month, I had a 65,000 word memoir detailing every wound of my childhood. And on Christmas Eve, that next month, I attached it to an email and sent it to my family.
Whoa.
So they're all still speaking to me, by the way, in case you were all wondering. But that is when I realized I write to feng shui my soul first. I have to clear the space. Writing is an awareness tool. So sometimes you'll write something on a notebook and you'll read it to yourself and you're going, whoa, do I think that? Or whoa, is that the message? And so that book, by the way, is not the one I published and that you will read. But I did take pieces of that and I created that second book after that process of clearing out.
I've heard, you share part of that story before, and I love it because I think for me, I've always had a journal. Back in my day when I was growing up, they were called diaries, just like you started out with. I had a little diary from the age of 8, and I continued that practice of writing or journaling as I, grew into a teen and young adult and adult forever. I've been doing it since I was 8. And sometimes what I write are things that I need to get out that are past traumas that sometimes surfaces up when I'm writing. And the safest way for me to release that pain is to write it out in the journal, which I know no one is going to see. Maybe when I die, but right now no one's going to see. It's so therapeutic. And so when I was writing that chapter, Betrayal, I had an incident that had recently happened, and I had to. And I was like, oh no, not again, because it seemed to me that it was always people that were close to me that I trusted so much that tend to betray me. And so it was, how some of you have these moments as you travel down your path to bliss and things come up and you're like, why is this coming up? And it was something that I needed to cleanse and heal myself with. So that writing allowed me to do that. And your process with regards to publishing the books that we do and allowing us to write is amazing. Let me ask you about this. How is publishing not only a healing journey, but a very good way for women entrepreneurs to market their abilities of their gifts that they have to share with us here in our world?
Well, thanks. Favorite question ever. Okay. Part of the mission at my company is to help you understand that we are not an ordinary publisher. We get the healing journey that writing is. And if you're hooking up with a company that doesn't really get that, then when you, the author, have a freak out moment in the middle of your manuscript writing, or you're actually feeling something that's coming up from past trauma or whatever it is, right? You have to be guided in a great way, right? So part of my mission is to hold that sacred healing space for our authors as they go along that writing journey and the different things come up. But writing is just one part of that, because when we say, hey, everyone, time to publish, that P word, then, we wait because we know there's going to be freak out moments about that, because all of a sudden what you thought you wanted, it becomes very real. And you understand it's way more than just your mom going to read that chapter. And you start to have a moment with yourself, right? And some people do get to me and they want to talk about that because it really is quite a feeling of trigger. So first of all, thank you to every single person who has stepped up on that journey with us and for being so brave and vulnerable with your stories. The reason it's important is in your business. So now we get to that second part. It's
Yes.
like, Rochel, why should I hire you if I can't know, love, and trust you first? So when you lay out your vulnerable story for me, I'm getting to know you. I'm getting to trust you. And then I'm like, all right, I got to learn a little bit more about her. Maybe she's the one I want to hire for whatever this service is, right? And I really think it's one of the biggest things missing in storytelling and copywriting and all the ways we promote and market and speak our brave words is that vulnerability. Come on, people, get to the next level. Let me get to know you a little bit. So, you know me, that's the short version of that.
I love it. And I keep saying I love it. And I'm not being, facetious with that, you guys. I love what she's saying because it resonates with me and how I think. And working with Laura on the various book projects that I have has been just a wonderful, seamless experience for me. It's been healing. And I do, specialize in a wellness component, holistic wellness component. So it's been healing and therapeutic for me. And I've been able to share the healing and therapy that the publishing that Laura does for our books with others. And it's kind of like this domino effect that has trickled down. Now she has, you guys, I don't know if you heard me, but I'm going to repeat it again. 50 Amazon best-selling books, 50 of them. And that speaks a lot. In 3 years, barely 3 years, we're not even done with 2023. So I'm going to say 2 years, 7 months. No, 6.5 months. 50 books. So that speaks volumes. Not only that, the process of working with Laura and her team is amazing. And she does help you through each and every step of the process. There are times during the process where you just need a little bit extra support and encouragement. Girl's gonna be okay. Things gonna come in. They gonna, whatever it is. But her team is so generous and understanding. I would say like a grandmother. A grandmother you can go to and talk to about things that you can't necessarily talk to your mom about, and they're understanding because they come from a different, but they can also be stern and say, okay, I got it, but you need to do this to get yourself straight. And it's more receptive than if it was coming from a parent, right? Because they don't always deliver the message like that. But Laura's team is phenomenal at that. So Laura, I want to ask you, and I want you to share with everybody, we have the collaborative process that I've been a part of. Do you publish solo author books as well? And can you just share a little bit, just in case people are not quite sure, share a little bit about the difference between the two?
Yeah, of course. So it's more rare that we publish a solo book, but we do a handful of them. We're looking for the exact right partners for that match in terms of what the book is, how the author has been out in their community, and what that message is, right? So I'll say a few, but not as many as the collaborative books, which is our total specialty and jam. But I want to quickly mention that we have a children's book line called Brave Kids Books. And our goal is to help publish those solo authored children's books. And we have a collaborative project for children's short stories. So I'm super proud of that. And shout out to Kelly Kushula, who is the director of Brave Kids Books, because girl, I couldn't do that piece without you. So the difference in the collaboration is really the fun that we get to have when we come together as a community and we provide this amazing toolkit for the reader, because our collaborations, we do not publish anthologies. I don't like the A word. We publish expert collaborations. So you're stepping up as an authority, you're teaching the reader a practical tool in addition to that vulnerable story. So I would say that's the biggest difference. You can hear probably in my voice that I get excited about those collaborations.
I love that. And also I think with the collaborative process, you get you get so many different aspects of healing that you can take in that sometimes you don't even know. You'll start reading a chapter and you're like, ooh, wow. You know what, this is speaking to me. You know what I mean? It's not even your chapter. It's like, wow, this is speaking to me. And for you all, I bet you get to see the various aspects of the goodness that people really do want to put out into the world. And I say, you write a book, yeah, there's stuff on the internet and all that, but when you write a book is forever. A book is forever. It's something you can hold. I love having books. I'm not an internet, Kindle reader. I love having the book in my hand. I love being able to underline and date when a specific sentence or something spoke to me. And then when I go back and read that book, it's always something different because I'm on a different part of my journey that speaks, and I underline it and date it, right? I love that. And when you have that collaborative book and you have all those different aspects, it's just such a beautiful thing to go through and be able to have others, like it's almost like a divine spoken word through others to you for a message that you need to see at that moment in time. So it's an amazing process. Now, I know you also do some other kind of writing, very poetic, I want to say, as
Yes.
well as the spoken word type of stuff. Give these people insight into another aspect of Laura that ties it all into Brave Healer Productions and Brave Healer Publishing.
Well, I am a poet and a spoken word poet. So I have 10 of my own self-published books, and 5 of them are poetry. And a lot of people don't even really realize I've written so much poetry. We are working on a collaboration right now called 100 Poems and Possibilities for Healing. And 30 poets stepped up to be a part of that collaboration for the 100 poems that are going to be in this book. And this turns me on like no other thing, you guys, because there is a level of soul in poetry, with poets, with the family that is poets when they come together in community, that I don't experience in other places. It just takes it all to another level. So had I been in my poetry hat when you first introduced me, I would have said, Laura Di Franco is my game and Brave Healing is my name. And Brave Healing is my game, right? So that's my stage introduction, right? And then off I go into the poem. But yeah, I've done a lot in poetry, and we're moving toward some events, special events coming up in the DC area where you and I will meet soon. Oh my gosh, can't wait for all that juiciness.
I love it. Okay, so of course, I'm being a little naughty today. And I was wondering, just in case people don't really know the essence of spoken word, if you could give us like a minute or two.
You didn't warn me. Let me grab it. I'm like, she did not ask me to do this. Okay, I wasn't ready.
I love it. And this is a tap. I want people, girl, I'm trying to make sure people know all aspects of Laura Di Franco. She is Laura Di Franco, the brave, bold, unstoppable, badass woman. She is a gifted artist that is shy and confidently, I say, humble about her gift of being this gifted poetic artist. She's a business dynamite, and she's here for all of us. So, girl, don't be shy. Give us some.
All right. You gave me just enough time to pull one up. Okay. So the universe just picked this one for you guys today, right? Because I had to do that fast. I have over 1,000 poems written. This one's called Shattered. My heart's caught in your trap, coming apart, moving through the spaces between the wires, cutting off pieces to fit through, bleeding for you, needing to know you want me too. I'm shattered and raw, crawling, barely breathing down in that space near the ground where they say there's air, but only despair sits down there with my soul. I'm smart enough to know I'll escape. Playing this game, I know the moves I've played 1,000 times, shutting down inside, pretending I don't feel, trying to hide myself from the world. I'm good enough to remember a different way, breaking wide open, letting the cracks fill with light. Splitting further is how I'll fight, believing in bigger things, even though this stings. I know I'll survive feeling this effing alive. I don't know if I was allowed to swear in that. A full unraveling. I should know you better, shouldn't I? A full unraveling, no longer interested in finding the old pieces, falling into the same patterns, keeping it all together. No, I'm better when I'm shattered. There it is. That was a short one.
Wow. Amazing. Heart touching. There were moments when you were speaking that word that was really like, I just felt a little pitter patter on my chest. You know, when you ever hear or listen to or see someone do spoken word, it is absolutely amazing. And it seems like the words just penetrate deeply into the crevices of your bones. And, you know, my bones they've been around for a while. And so it just so heartfelt and touching and just so beautiful. And the way you deliver the spoken word that you write, Laura, it's with that passion and that oomph and now that je ne sais quoi, so to speak.
You got it. Oomph.
Yeah, je ne sais quoi.
There's a shimmy in poets a lot of the time, right? Yes.
Right,
I love it.
It's just beautiful. It's just so beautiful. And so
thank you.
You guys out there, if you are interested in allowing your words to come from the depths of your soul, to be shared or maybe not shared, you got to stay tuned because I'm going to let Laura tell you how you can connect with her. Laura, you also do a journaling practice, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I have for a long time.
Yeah. Can you share with those that are watching and listening to us, can you share about how you utilize, first of all, what your journaling practice is, kind of what it entails, and how you utilize that to continue to be the brave, bold, unstoppable woman that you are?
You know, this is my medicine. And so everybody will have a different kind of medicine, or even, you know, I hate to use the word self-care, although I do feel like journaling is that for me, because when I give my notebook and pen my attention, I know that I'm in an awareness practice. So that is healing for me. And journaling became something much, much more than therapeutic healing awareness practice. It also became my channel for my business. Now, I just made a huge leap there in what I said to you, because a lot of people are just like, oh my God, I can't even think about anyone else reading my stuff, right? In fact, they won't journal because they're afraid of people in their home grabbing the journal and reading the secrets, right? So what I'll say to you about that is then burn the pages then after, because it's not about what's in there. It's about the process of moving the words from your heart to your fingertips, to the pen, to the paper. And then it's there and you get to read it, and that you become your witness. There's the healing moment right there. You created a witness for your own truth. And that's when things can shift just a little bit. So journaling for a very, very long time has been a powerful, powerful thing in my world. And I do it pretty much every day, a little bit, maybe 5 minutes one day, maybe an hour another day. No rules, y'all.
Right. I love it. I journal as well, and been doing it for a long time. It was a way for me when I was in my 20s to release the fire within me, because I'm, you know, pretty type A, control, and without having the volcano, or as my kids used to say, the monster come out and lash people with my words. But my practice has been, I do it I write 3 pages a day. I do it in the morning. I try to, if I can, but there's no judgment if I don't get it in until right before I go to bed. And it just allows me to just be in a place where it's just me, and whatever comes to my mind, I just write. I don't go back and reread it. I just let those words stay on the page and know that either release something or gain some information, because it works both ways. I either ask questions and get answers, or I need to release something and I'm able to release it. So it's just such a beautiful practice. Okay, so now, Laura, tell people how they can get in contact with you and all the good stuff, all the good juicy stuff, so we can all stay connected.
Bravehealer.com. Come on over. You can also see it at lauradifranco.com. So whatever you remember first is a good way to go. And I would love to connect with all of you. I'm in Facebook. We have special groups going on. We have a retreat coming up next year for wannabe authors, writers circle, so many awesome things. My mission is to help you share your brave words. Thank you, Rochel, so much for what you do and for giving us a platform to be ourselves and be brave, bold, and unstoppable. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Laura. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's a community of women that we come together to support each other. And that's what I've always been about. And actually, that's what the Brave, Bold, Unstoppable Women Summits are about, is us coming together to support each other, to uplift not only our lives and our businesses, but to uplift the humanity around the world. And so thank you for being that woman that said yes. And you guys, her information will be in the show notes. So pay attention. If you love the show, please subscribe to it, share it with everyone you love and care about. And I want to thank our sponsors, Blissful Living for You at blissfulliving4u.com. Again, go to that site, check out where the Brave, Bold, and Unstoppable live and the virtual event is happening. The virtual event, again, is free. So you definitely want to, check it out and get a taste of these powerful women that are going to be at speaking in Washington, D.C. area. And I want to thank All Day Cable Incorporated at alldaykable.inc.com, the premier telecommunications installation company in Silicon Valley. I am Rochel Marie Lawson, the queen of feeling fabulous. Yes, I am that brave, bold, and unstoppable queen, if you can see my crown. And I am wishing you all peace to your mind, tranquility to your spirit, and wellness to your body. And allow whatever is in you to come out on some pages and just start the writing process. No matter where you start, it's not about that. It's just you start and let what's in you come out and let those words flow. Until next time, again, share the show with everyone. Until next time, goodbye for now.